watching.
Subscribe.
Hello, you're watching ScreenStalker. I'm Laurie Blake, and this is the movie news. Coming up, Marvel are in talks with an absolutely breathtaking star for an upcoming role, and a cutscene from Avengers Endgame could have changed Iron Man's death completely. Oh yeah, spoilers, but sort of past that now, I guess. But before we get to that, have yourself a super click party by tapping like, tickling subscribe, and flinging the bell icon off of a cliff on Vormir, sending it plummeting to its death on the rocks below in order to get your hands on the Soul Stone and complete your plan to wipe out 50% of the population of the world. To enable notifications, and leave a comment down below to answer our question of the day. Who would you cast Keanu Reeves as in the MCU? Wolverine. That's my answer. More on that in a second, but we're hopping the fence first and checking in with the DC Cinematic Universe. All of the grass on this side of the fence is dead. Weird. And maybe that's because DC never made Superman Flyby, an aborted feature that was penned by none other than J.J. Abrams, the man saving Star Wars, sort of. Now, while the film may have leapt off the face of the planet in a single bound, some scraps of info have been left behind. As storyboard artist Peter Ramsey, who went on to direct Into the Spider-Verse, revealed some of his old work for the project. Now, from the looks of the artwork, the story seemed to tread a very similar path to Zack Snyder's Man of Steel, which came out a decade after this was being pitched. In the panels, Superman is battling a General Zod-like character called Ty-Zor in a city-bashing battle not unlike the finale to Man of Steel. Now, Abrams has opened up before about how the two films would both have tackled Superman's childhood and eventual superheroic origins, but this film never really made it out of the production stages, starting with Brett Ratner on directing duty before that was passed on to McG, and the project was actually just eventually shuttered. But interestingly, screen tests were held with Brandon Routh and Henry Cavill, who both went on to play Supes in later movies, and Amy Adams also auditioned for Lois Lane, a role she later got for a different film. Kind of weird how this one-lost Superman movie seemed to influence so much of the character's cinematic future. Speaking of cinematic futures, and ones I especially want to be part of, we could be getting more Keanu Reeves on our screens in future. Because the John Wick star is having, obviously, the best year of all time so far, with John Wick Chapter 3 doing well, his turn in Toy Story 4 being praised, and the fact that he single-handedly won E3 this year after appearing at Xbox's conference and being absolutely breathtaking. Never mind Neo, Keanu is the one. And the one may join the biggest blockbuster franchise in movies right now, that is, if Marvel get their way. Because Marvel Studios head honcho Kevin Feige told comicbook.com that they have asked Keanu to be in almost every film they make. He said, "We talk to him for almost every film we make." I told you. I don't know when, if, or ever he'll join the MCU, but we very much want to figure out the right way to do it. He also compared him to Jake Gyllenhaal, saying that they spoke to him multiple times over the years, waiting for the right role to come up, eventually settling on Mysterio for Spider-Man Far From Home. Someone who won't be in Spider-Man Far From Home though, but does generally loom large over the film's story clearly, is Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man. Now, it's safe to say that Tony Stark didn't quite make it out of Endgame alive, but his sacrifice will seemingly shape the life of Spider-Man going forward. As it will for Tony Stark's daughter Morgan, who he loved 3000 and gave some closure to following the finale of Endgame and his funeral, with a recorded message mostly addressed to her. But there was another scene that was filmed which would have changed those final moments massively. Now, if you cast your mind back to Infinity War and Thanos' first snap, afterwards he's transported to a tranquil orange world where he converses with a young version of adopted daughter Gamora, who he recently just threw off a cliff to get hold of the Soul Stone. Now, in a recent interview, directors Joe and Anthony Russo suggested that this Soul World, which sounds like a night out in Peckham, would have played a greater role in a deleted scene for the movie. Because after Iron Man used his own Infinity Gauntlet to dust Thanos and his forces, this scene would have transported him into the Soul World, where he would have met with an older version of his daughter Morgan, played by 13 Reasons Why actress Catherine Langford. Now, this scene was designed to give Tony a bit of much-needed closure, but apparently confused test audiences who didn't know who this older girl was. Where's the little girl gone? Does he love her 3000? We don't know. So ultimately, they chose to take it out. But let me know in the comments below if it's a scene that you would have liked to see, or did you just love Tony Stark's finale 3000? Thank you for watching, and don't forget that super click party on the like, subscribe, and bell icons. Also, head on over there for more awesome ScreenStalker content, like the news that the end credits scenes in Spider-Man Far From Home could reveal the future direction of the MCU. I'm Laurie Blake, and remember, we're watching.